300 points who's not in the Hall of Fame, basically. The only guy who's ever been on the ballot and not gotten voted in with 300 points. So it's like he could make 300 out, but he's got 300 points because he's been to 59 Pro Tours. It's like, all right, I personally would rather take, a Billy Jensen, somebody who was, oh my God, the aliens come down, happy to have him playing. But I mean, look at Ikeda, and his median finish is in the hundreds.
Fair enough.
So I definitely think Ikeda is worth considering. I thought about it, and I want a little more on the raw play skill side of things. Fair
enough. And I think that's how a lot of people lean. For example, Patrick Chapin is someone who a lot of people have been talking about, and he obviously has a lot of gigantic outside the game contributions to the game. But, obviously he has a very successful resume, but it's not as successful as some of the other players who are in contention this year. So.
Right. I mean, his stats are not as good as the other people in contention. He's got the 4 top 8s, which is sort of the litmus test a lot of people look at to get you into contention. And it's okay, he gets into contention with 4 top 8s, and then he's got all the community stuff. So maybe, but I don't know. I mean, would you vote Mike Flores into the Hall of Fame if he happened to stumble his way to 100 career pro points? It's an interesting question, right?
Did he top 8 for Pro Tours?
No.
Okay. I mean, the Chapin has 4 Pro Tour top 8s, right?
He does.
Yeah. So
I'm not trying to compare Pat to Mike Flores.
Right.
As a player. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to, how much do you count the volumes and volumes of articles?
Right.
Is he Gary Wise? Is really the question, right? Gary Wise got into the Hall of Fame largely on the basis of just being one of the most prolific he was a social connector, and a lot of that was through his articles, both for the Mothership and for other websites.
Yeah, it's hard to compare, and we'll go back to that maybe in a little bit. In the meantime, it looks like we join a match in progress here. Edgar Flores is playing his standard, the blue-white Cobblade deck, and off to, I think he might be undefeated so far.
Really?
Or he's X-1 actually currently, X-1.
Didn't I hear he lost round 1?
Yeah, I think he lost round 1.
He lost to Mike Thompson, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? I didn't
Seattle
hear
player.
That story. Yeah, Mike.
Mike's a good guy. Like Mike Thompson, he's got 100 pro points. I mean, he's a sort of a pro tour, almost. He was a regular for a couple of years. He's one of the best Seattle-based players historically, but basically hasn't been playing a lot of Magic lately. Brewed up a homebrew, so he's literally reading the cards. Oh, I think it was a draw, is what I heard. They drew the first round. I believe that would make sense if Edgar's XO1.
So on your left is Edgar playing his Cobblade deck. On your right, Sam Turner Lynch playing a Splinter Twin Deceiver Exarch combo. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Some Shrine of Piercing Visions. Main deck Slag Storm, but on Sam's board he has a Shrine at 1 counter and a bunch of lands. Edgar has a Ratchet Bomb and a couple lands. Yeah, so we had Edgar in a feature match earlier against Conley Woods, who was X-Win at the time. So so either he was paired down or he had a loss.
I think he got a draw in the first round. I'm pretty sure that's... I mean, the way I heard the story, it was a slow match, because Mike was playtesting, right? He literally never played the format before, so he's reading every card. Probably didn't make Edgar very happy. It's not like he's playing crazy, unusual tech.
Right. He's playing the same deck that's almost dominated the format for the last couple of months.
But Mike hasn't been playing.
Yeah, I talked to Mike before the event, and he's like, "This is a test of not knowing what decks are good in the format and seeing if I can still build a deck that's good."
He was still in contention last I heard. I think.
Really? That's impressive.
I've been sitting here since the start of round 6, but he was 3-1-1, I believe.
Yeah, and he's playing like some green, blue, black deck with 5 Garrux and Consecrated Sphinx. It looked really exciting. Meantime, it looks like Sam has established a Deceiver Exarch alongside Shrine of Piercing Vision. Edgar has a Ratchet Bomb, and I believe that's a Spellskite. Little hard to tell. Edgar's cards are pretty much all foil, so camera gives him a little bit of glare, and Sam preordains further, and then Taxian probes Edgar to see what he's got in his grip. Into the Royal, Deprive, Spell Pierce, into the Royal, Deprive, Spell Pierce, and Inkmoth Nexus. Wow. And these guys are in game 2, so they are sideboarded. That's why Edgar has Ratchet Bomb in play. Yeah, I'd love to.
And Edgar took the first game.
Yeah, Edgar took the first game. I'd love to see a deck like Mike's do well. Mike is, is one of the almost subtle members of the Pro Tour for a couple of years. He played a lot and showed up at all the Pro Tours, did well. Top 32, top 64, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Just kept on the train. Currently not on the Pro Tour train now, but he's got a lot of raw skill.
He's usually the guy I would battle at the local Type 1 scene.
Yeah, indeed.
The sort of 10-card proxy vintage tournaments were all the rage like 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Right, yeah. I remember when Vintage was a really big thing, and then it just kind of tapered off. Now Legacy is kind of almost taking its place as the Eternal format to play. And it's partially due to the Star City game opens. I mean, we'll see Legacy played tomorrow, and probably have at least 200, 300 players battling it out. Edgar Flores goes for a Into the Royal on Sam's Deceiver Exarch. How do you feel about a card like Shrine of Piercing Visions in a deck like this? You just lay it on turn 2, gain some counters, and then on a crucial turn, you just spend it and find the
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, it's essentially, it's a tutor, but you get to sneak it into the play early on, right? I mean, a lot of times the problem with the tutors is that you're trying to resolve them later in the game, or they'd make your mana unwieldy on that crucial turn, but now you get to sit here, wait, draw the one piece, and then cash in your tutor that's been sitting there, so it seems like a good card in this deck. Yeah,
it's pretty interesting. We hadn't seen a lot of those before, but since after Jace the Mind Sculptor got banned, people were looking for alternatives.
Right.
And that worked out pretty well. So Spellskite in play by Edgar Flores will do a number on a combo attempt by Sam Turner Lynch.
Indeed.
And also Sam stranded on only 4 lands.
Now when to crack the Shrine becomes the interesting question.
Right, exactly. And, you know, when you get desperate enough, you look for a land. When you get desperate enough, you look for a bounce spell.
Right, right.
So Sam goes for a Deceiver Exarch and taps the Spellskite. And then can't quite tell what Edgar just played. I think that's looking down his list.
It's a giant flash of white light.
Oh, I think the animated Celestial Colonnade. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, there we go. Colonnade comes back.
Yeah, so he's just relying on Spellskite. Essentially tapping mana. Not worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, just figures. Also, I mean, with Sam only having, 3 lands, 4 lands, it makes it pretty difficult when you're in a mana-tight situation as a combo deck. Plus, I believe we know Edgar has Spell Pierce in his hand, so that Celestial Colonnade works double duty against the mana-strapped opponent. Edgar's a man who certainly knows his Cobblade decks. He's been playing the deck pretty much non-stop, and for this tournament, he just tweaked a couple cards, and that's the thing, when you get to know a deck so well, you can just change things slightly, and it works in your favor.
Time to cash in the Shrine.
Yep. For, I think, was that 12? It was something absurd. Pretty much just like you said, a demonic tutor.
Pretty sure I just saw Mike Thompson gleefully turn in another result slip.
Oh, man.
Still doing it.
The Shrine was for 12. Yeah, I would love to see Mike. It just shows you
5-1-1.
Shows you how much raw talent he has. I remember for one Nationals, or for Pro Tour Honolulu, I gave Mike my black-white deck, and then he didn't test it at all. And for Nationals 6 months later, he just played the same deck, tweaked 2 cards, and was undefeated in the standard portion.
Yeah.
Just a lot of raw talent, a lot of good ability to read your opponents will go a long way in Magic. Shows you how much skill is actually put into the games.
Right.
So there's I think that's a Manic Vandal down for Sam. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
How to deal with Spellskite.
Good little answer. Gives you a 2/2 body.
Cute.
And now Edgar has to be a little more worried about tapping out for that Colonnade. Can't just afford to throw it in again. Alright. So Ratchet Bomb down for Edgar. Colonnade. Manic Vandal serves in. That should drop Edgar to 11. If you're Sam Turner Lynch right here, what do you think your plan is? Do you think you want to wait as long as possible, or if you have the combo, do you think you just want to try and assemble it? Now, you know Edgar has access to a pair of Into the Royals in his hand.
Right.
So how are you going to figure out to play? How are you going to figure out to play around, a way that breaks up your combo twice over, when you're strapped on lands and you're behind on cards, on board state?
Attack for 2?
Seems like a reasonable offer. Attack for 3 now with the Deceiver Exarch. Sam just slammed down on the board. And he's going to tap Edgar's Ratchet Bomb, which Edgar picks up.
I mean, he's the beatdown right now.
Yep.
And from this board, it's a 4-turn clock.
We had Noah Weiland earlier, and he was just talking about how so many combo players miss their chances to just kill them with the random 2/2 creatures they have, the 1/4 creatures they have. And,
right.
This is a situation where you could just try and go for the Manic Vandal Deceiver Exarch kill. Okay, Sam opts to not attack.
Oh, is there colonnade?
There's a colonnade back, yeah. And into the Royal on...
The Ratchet Bomb?
Ratchet Bomb. Edgar goes for Deprive.
Interesting. Is that 3 counters on the Ratchet Bomb?
2 counters on it currently. It'll be up
2.
to 3 by then. All right, so Sam just goes for it. He goes Splinter Twin on Exarch, and I think he knows Edgar has the Into the Royal.
Into the Royal. This is going to be a no kicker into the Royal?
Oh, Mana Leaks.
Oh, interesting. Which he can pay for. Yeah,
All right.
you pay.
Sam's just going to pay 3 for the Mana Leak.
And it doesn't help you to not pay. I mean, obviously Edgar just wanted him to tap his mana, but now.
All right. There's the End of the Royal.
Royal, fizzling the Splinter Twin.
And then Ratchet Bomb goes up to 3. Now, Sam did a pretty good job there, I think, of depleting Edgar's resources a little bit. He got rid of the Deprive in his hand. He got rid of the Into the Royal in his hand. The problem, of course,
Mana
is...
Leak.
Or the Mana Leak in his hand, too.
Both.
Yeah, Mana Leak, Deprive, and Into the Royal. But now, of course, Sam is set back a little bit as well. And there's a Sword of Feast and Famine. Going to put on Inkmoth Nexus. That's a quick clock.
Wow. You just have to draw the swords now, right?
Yeah, you just draw
Seems
the
so
swords
unfair.
naturally. Turns out you can just cast it and equip it sometimes. Even better, they
That
don't know
doesn't seem fair.
They don't know it's coming. And yeah, so now for 4, gonna drop Sam up or bring Sam up to 4 poison. Untap all the lands. Such good synergy with Inkmoth Nexus there.
Yep.
And Sam discards a Slag Storm. Goes for a Jataxian Probe, showing an island, so the coast is clear.
Coast is clear. You got it? He must not have it.
Shrine of Piercing Vision. And Edgar's Ratchet Bomb on 3 is certainly going to put an end to too many shenanigans by Sam Turner Lynch.
Yeah. Yeah, coast's not exactly clear with the Ratchet Bomb sitting there.
Yeah. Turn 2 clock with those Inkmoth Nexi too. Certainly an issue. Although, looks like Edgar's tapping 5 to activate his Colonnade this time around.
Interesting.
Alright. So he's going to activate his other Nexus. Okay, it looks like he's activating Colonnade and both Nexi, to which Sam is going to probably tap down the Colonnade?
Makes sense. I mean, 2 Nexi makes poison lethal with the sword next turn.
Right. Maybe he's ready to tap down one of the Nexi then. Yeah, that's what he goes for. Oh, and then Dismember for the Deceiver Exarch. Oh, Dispel was the last card in Sam's hand. Takes care of that Dismember. Dispel's certainly an interesting main deck card. A lot of the Splinter Twin decks have resorted to playing that simply because most of the cards that interact with their combo are instant speed. So you counter almost everything that deals with the combo, and including Dismember.
It's going to go ahead and blow the Ratchet Bomb.
Kills the Sword of Feast and Famine on Edgar's side. And another Shrine down for Sam Turner Lynch. But Edgar is...
Does he get any cards left in his hand?
I don't think Sam has any cards left in his hand, no. I think he just has the 2 Shrines. And Sam is pretty close to falling
poison.
here.
I think he's at 7 poison now.
Looks like 7 poison and...
Looks like he's going to kill him on both axes at the same time.
Always the dream. Unless Sam, I guess, finds the perfect combination of cards under those 2 Shrines. Alright.
Okay, waits one more turn.
So let's see. So Edgar can serve for 2 poison, 4 damage this turn, which drops
you can get him to
Sam
9 poison and 2 life.
The exact perfect ratio.
It seems like it's better to pick an axis and Leave some mana untapped.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Are we shrining during the attack step?
Yeah, so I think Edgar only activated the 2 Nexi for now, and now Sam's taking the opportunity to shrine for, I think that's 5 cards? 5 or 6 cards. Probably looking to find a Deceiver Exarch to tap down one of those Nexi.
Yep.
Well, let's see what he found. Hesitating a little on what he puts back. So it looks like he found a Ponder, a Mana Leak, a Splinter Twin, and some lands. So he switched the Ponder to the Splinter Twin. So he took Splinter Twin into his hand.
Yeah, that seems right.
And then drops down to 1.
Yeah, I mean, his whole game here is combo part, combo part.
Oh, I mean,
hope he's depleted all the defenses, right?
And there's Spirit in. Well, the issue, of course, is if he's at 9 poison, like Splinter Twin and Pyromancers, Splinter Twin and Deceiver Exarch can't go off the turn because it has to tap clearly. So if he waits the turn to pass back, then the next guy will get in. So I understand why I want to take the Ponder there, but he has to find the Exarch. The question is if he'll find it in time. And that other shrine goes up to 4 counters. And we'll see what he does. Still thinking about that Ponder. Yeah, you're right. You pretty much have to sculpt the perfect hand here to be able to beat what Edgar Flores does. Okay, so Preordain resolves.
It's tricky from 9 poison, though.
Yeah, 9 poison and 6 life. So even if you find a way to deal with one axis, you might just die on the other.
What are his answers to 2 flying Nexi? I mean, is it 2 Exarchs? What is he supposed to do?
He's got Exarch. He has Dismember if you left that in. Otherwise, I think he's going to be pretty hard pressed to fight those guys.
He can't afford to pay for Dismember here.
All right. Edgar activates 1 Nexus. Activates the other. Sam.
Time to go looking.
See what we find with our Piercing Vision Shrine. All right, and that's it.
There you go.
And Edgar Flores takes the match.
A shocking result. Edgar Flores in contention deep in a Star City Games.
Right.
Open.
With his Cobblade deck. Pretty much nothing has changed. The more things change, the more things stay the same, I suppose.
I'll tell you something about how ridiculous that deck was previously.
I know. The fact you can ban like these 2 cards and the deck is still on the top of the format is just insane.
On top's not clear, right?
Yeah.
Good player with a deck that he knows inside and out. Doesn't necessarily, I mean, certainly there's not a ton of it running around, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of got the Cedric Phillips factor to it almost, where you play White Weenie enough, you get to learn the deck really well.
Right.
You can make these small little adjustments, and other people, or the Patrick Sullivan factor, same kind of thing,
Absolutely.
right? Or you can make the small little adjustments nobody else can make. And granted, Cobblade did win the Open last week, but we'll see if people adjust for it this week. I expected there to be some adjustments, and we'll see what happens. So it looks like Edgar is about a round or 2 out from clinching a top 8 berth. Pretty interesting stuff.
Do we think he's XO1?
I think if you think he drew in the first round, then yeah, I'd imagine he's XO1 at this point. So, wins 1 more, maybe just draw in.
He's only going to be able to draw once at the end, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
7. There's 9 rounds or 10?
9 rounds today.
2 more? Yeah.
2 more rounds.
He's probably winning in next round then.
Wow. It's amazing to see how these players come out every week, even without the buys, and still to put up these finishes. That's just such a grind to be able to do that all the time, and it's really impressive to watch someone like Edgar Flores accomplish this.
It's a skill game.
It is certainly a lot of skill, and also just a lot of knowing your deck well too. Like, I mean, that's part of the skill. I think a lot of people undervalue, like, the actual skill of building your deck and putting it together. But a lot of times the battle can be decided before you even go to the battlefield, right? So, I think it's incredible what he's done here with the Cobblade archetype.
Absolutely.
And I was trying to learn around about 8 minutes. Do you want to take a quick break? Okay, so it looks like we'll take a quick break here real fast.
Okay.
And come back in about 5 to 10 minutes and bring you the next round at Star City Games Open. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be back shortly.
See ya.